like I can't get to a lot of the stuff that I need to get to, so I just dug out whatever I could get to. Um, this is the last 1993 that I have from an opened case that was, from what I understand and what I could gather, that was partially cold storaged for a while, for years. Now, that doesn't mean that it stayed there because, I mean, 93, how old is that now? 30 years? Okay, 30 years. Um, I do think that it spent at least the first 5 years of its life in cold storage, just from the stamps that were on the case. Now, cold storage by the military, actually. They had it in cold storage. Kind of weird, actually. Um, but when I got this, I actually did get 2 cases of them. This is the last one that I have from the open case that I had, and I still have a completely sealed case. Now, I've eaten every single one of the ones that came out of the other case. This is the last one. Well, I did probably give a few away and maybe trade a couple off. I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I'm sure I didn't eat them all. I probably traded some off and gave them away. But, anyways, this is the Four Fingers of Death, menu number 6. And I think these have a stamp. I think it'll show the date on here. I don't know if right away did or not. Seems like they had a stamp on here, though. Nope. It's not looking like it. Huh. Well, shoot. It doesn't matter. I know for a fact that it's a 93 because it came out of that case. Unless maybe at some point I switched it up somehow. I doubt I did that because I left that box completely empty except for, I mean, it was empty except for this one ration, so I probably didn't intermix them. Now, I did call and text my son to pick me up some hamburger or some hot dog buns for it because that's really the only way I enjoy eating these. They're actually pretty good if you got some hot dog buns. Especially these later years, like the 90s ones, like maybe even the late 80s ones. But when you get into the early Four Fingers of Death, like what are those things called? Shoot, Vienna sausages. That's what the first. They're super soft and like, I don't know. They don't taste like a beef hot dog. These, on the other hand, taste like a beef hot dog. Minnie, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, honey. Come here. Come here. Come here. It's okay. I know. I know. You're super loud. I know. I know. Yes. All right. Say hello to everybody. Here we go. Say hi. Hi. This is Minnie, because she's got little miniature legs. And she's been around for... This is the only cat that, like, we were okay with having. She's the original. She's the one that's been around for... She's been around the entire time we've been in this house. We've been in this house for 14 or 15 years. I think I might have just hit 15. Anyway, she's been around that long. She had 1 litter of kittens. My mom got one, and I have one of her babies. So he's not a baby anymore. He's completely blind, more or less. Both of his eyes are fogged over, unfortunately. He's got cataracts really bad, is what I gather from the way he looks. I don't really know that much about cataracts, but I started looking it up after, because he was blind in one eye for a long time. We just didn't think anything of it. Figured he had injured himself or something at some point, and we just didn't really pay that much attention to it because he was fine with one eye working. And then probably about 6 months ago, his other eye went cloudy. and he walks into stuff now. He does go outside on his own and like navigate pretty well outside. I'm just a little bit. I'm not going to jinx it. He does really well outside. Um, I just don't know what I'm going to do for him. I do love the cat, and I love Minnie. She is a great cat. You could not ask for a better cat than her. She really does everything that you think a cat should do, and she performs well as a like inside outside cat. So, hi, honey. Yeah, yes, I know, and she's really loud. But oh, hey, I missed a super chat, and I have super chat from Cyanide Cookies. Let me go back and get the other one before I lose it. Horny Animal says, "Hope you've had a great weekend or week." Thank you, Horny Animal, for the awesome $20 super chat. Holy cow, you guys are too generous and too kind. I don't deserve any of that. Dan or Cyanide Cookies from Australia says, "Happy New Year, everybody. Much love to you all." Yet Dan wasn't here last week. That's right, he wasn't, and I forgot to message Dan and tell him that I was going live last week. It was kind of weird last week, kind of getting back in the groove a little bit, and coming off of kind of lost one of my friends in that break that I was in, and it just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's still a little bit weird. Like when you get out of the groove of doing something like this, that's just like filming videos. If when you get back into starting to film videos again, like you really need to use the first couple times that you film something, you need to just use something that you can throw away, that you just don't care about, because if you commit fully to something that you can only get one of, let's say I pull this World War II lifeboat and life raft ration out, and I tried to do that as my first video back. I'm going to screw it up. I'm not going to be happy with it, and that footage will never see the light of day. Instead, go through and do a couple things that are more along the common. It's a collectible, just like a baseball card anymore. Rations are that, like, you condition. Now it's not as fragile as a playing card, let's say, because the corner's got to be perfect, the print's got to be centered. Same as collecting money or anything else. But rations, like the rarity, the condition, obviously, the backstory adds to it for people like me that, or anybody who's going to do a ration review, or a collector. Some collectors like really want to have that history of the ration. So yeah, it's definitely became a collector's market over the past, I would say I mean, it's always been a collector's market, but it's gotten really intense and really, like, I would say, it's not like it used to be. Let's put it that way. Which inflation, I get it, but prices go up, and every time something is bought or every time something is reviewed, that's one less of that item that is out there. Like most of the time, if somebody's buying this for a collection, it's not going to hit the market again. Now, I have seen collections get liquidated over the years. There's been multiple people that I've seen get into collecting rations and doing the ration thing, the ration game, and then they just kind of decide one day, like, we're done. By the way, I don't know if I even remember. Thank you, Dan, for the super chat, by the way. I did read it. He said Happy New Year's, and like I said, mentioned Dan wasn't here last week. So that's why the Happy New Year thing came in. And, no. She's such a good cat. She really is. Like, I wouldn't say that about very many of these cats around here, but Minnie's my baby. No. And I can tell when she doesn't feel good or if she's sick or anything. Like, she shows it in her voice and in her eyes, really. She's doing good right now, though. She's definitely on top of her game right now. Aren't you? Yes, you are. Who's a mini girl? Huh? You're getting fur on me. I got a brand new shirt on, and you're getting me all furry. That's something else. Like I really need to get into. I've got some really good ideas for making shirts, not just ration shirts, but I do have some good ration shirt ideas that I really want to get like into production and get them to the point where people can get them if they want. I want some of the shirts that I've came up with ideas for. Um, so I really need to get on top of that and start doing that. It's something I've dropped the ball on, but I also in the past few days I've really started I guess kind of re-sparking my fire to want to film some videos. I've got some good ideas of stuff that I can start out with. They're not necessarily all going to be ration videos because I have gotten into the realm of old sealed liquids and old food in general. But I've got some good ideas, and I've got some stuff that I'd really like to dive into a little bit of the history of the companies. And I've got some really unique stuff, like a couple of the drinks that I have are thanks to gabeRILLA. This is one of them right here. I don't know any of the history behind this. Now, I did have this laying over on its side, and you'll be able to, like, look at that. I don't know how thick that stuff is, but it was floating around all in here because I tipped it over like this. And as you can see on the top right here, it's got a hard line right there from where it was setting upright. Well, you can see how foggy the label's kind of blocking it, but from right there down, it's like, I don't know what it has done to this glass. It is a little bit low as well, and it definitely did not leak. So, but it must not be completely fully sealed. But the reason that this one sparks my interest and is special is because this is from 1950. It says it right here on the label. You're probably not going to be able to see it with this camera. I'll have to flip the camera around to show you. But also, on the bottom, gotta flip it over right here. It also says 1950. So this is certainly from 1950. Gabe did some of the research before, I think, if I remember right, before he ever even hooked me up with it. And then we also, from Gabe, I have this other very interesting can that I actually didn't even know about until Gabe told me about this. gabeRILLA, if you guys don't know, links in the description. I know he posts very consistently, and Gabe hasn't got anywhere near the recognition I feel like he should have. He obviously has different type of content, but he does his own thing, and I feel like he just hasn't found his market well. The way YouTube and the algorithm works anymore, it's a joke. But this is a push top can. I don't even know how to open this, to be quite honest. I think you're just supposed to stick your thumb in it, which to me seems extremely dangerous. Maybe you're supposed to like take a key out and do it. I'm not real sure, but this thing is perfectly sealed. I mean, if you have an old can, that's the sound right there that you want to hear. Like an old steel can or aluminum, doesn't matter. But there's a whole different sound to a can that's completely airtight and sealed. And that's it right there. That's the sound you want to hear. So that's something else I want to dig into. And then I've got these old cans of food up here that I actually had forgotten about. Someone sent a can of coffee. I've got to go back and figure out. I can't remember who sent these, and I don't know how old this one is. Might say on it. It's old. It's definitely old. I would guess it could be from the 40s. I mean, just judging by the can. It could be maybe 50s. And then we got these bamboo shoots, sliced bamboo shoots. So, oh, Dan just said I missed a super chat. All right, just 1 second. But I definitely want to go through these. Product of Taiwan, the Republic of China, distributed by Nozaki Associates Incorporated, New York. So it was imported to the United States. Okay, go back, find Super Chat. Oh, LC says, oh, wow. Sent a huge Canadian Super Chat down here. Thank you so much. Hey, bud, super excited to be here. I missed my Saturday lives. Stoked to finally see you again. Your mystery box is on the way. Uh-oh. That's awesome. Just has some items I'm worried for with customs, it coming in an alternative safe route. I'm worried for with customs, it coming an alternative safe route. Oh, wow. So, well, obviously there's not a whole lot that I can say or speak to other than I hope that it makes it through too. It's not like we're we're some kind of like drug cartel sending things through the mail. Like what we do is it's weird that we have to feel and be the way that we are about it. I don't know if you guys think the same, but like especially when it comes to rations that are highly regulated, why do we need to worry about, I don't know, like sending kasha from Russia? Like, why is that a problem? Well, now, like, it might be a little different because of everything that's going on, which I don't want to get into because that's a whole political thing. But Norwegian rations, or it doesn't matter what it is. Why do we have to be this way about it? And by the way, LC, thank you for that super chat, and I'm totally looking forward to the box. I will keep an eye on that and try to get that picked up as soon as it hits the post office. That way I can let you know that everything's good. Last week, somebody mentioned, I cannot remember who it was. It's right on the tip of my tongue, though. I can see the super chat. Someone offered to send in a meal cold weather. And I went back through and checked my email. Something has happened recently, within the past probably month or two, to my email. I don't know what happened because I don't give my email out. I don't use this particular email, my Oldsmokey email. I don't use that for like really anything that would be spam related. But I have started getting hit with emails from Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump. First of all, unless they literally someone picked my email off of here and sold it or whatever. I don't know how that works. Somehow though, they both ended up with it at the same time, or all three of them actually. And I'm also getting Democratic National Convention, Republican National Convention. I don't get it. I don't understand how this happened, but it happened. And like not right before, but I don't know, probably 3 or 4 hours ago, I was trying to go through my email and see, and I was clearing like all that crap. I was just getting rid of it. And I made it, I don't know, I probably made it through, I would say close to 100 emails, and I didn't get the, anyways, I didn't get to go through all the emails just in a week, like not even close. I think I only made it back like 3 days, 4 days, clearing all those. And anyway, that's why, like, I was checking to see if they happened to email me about that meal cold weather, because they asked me what menu to send, and I had thought about it a few times, like what would I pick, and I don't know what year they are. I don't know if there's even any menu changes in the newer ones. There might be. I know there are some from the older, like the 2004s to up. And I missed a super chat. Yes, my phone is working. Yes. Thank you for the super chat, Miss Renee. Ben. It's being picked up by a community member soonish. What? Wait, what? Did I miss something? Or are you talking about the meal cold weather, LC? I got the mains in half. What? What are we talking about? without a USD stamp gets chucked, unless you're lucky. Well, yeah, luck is a big part of it because I would say probably I probably shouldn't be talking about this. To be honest, I probably shouldn't because I'll knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself because I have had, I don't know, I've probably lost 10 or more packages over the years. The only one time it really hurt is I was dealing with these guys in Croatia, which I'm not even going to mention their name because I got nothing good to say about them, period. Whoa, History Savior with a 1999 super chat. History Savior says, Happy New Year. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. History Savior, you guys got to go check out History Savior's channel. I really enjoy what History Savior does over there. And I was just thinking, or I was just looking earlier, Maddog. Maddog's got a bunch of new videos out. I think he just started posting again probably, I know for sure it's been within the last 4 months from what I gathered. And I know he took, it's probably been less time than that, maybe the last 2 months. But Maddog's got a bunch of new videos out. I've seen a Norwegian Arctic. I think I've seen a Brazil. I can't remember what all I've seen, but definitely got to go check that out. And I was also looking, I want to ask you guys, because this guy I've never heard of. Let me pull it up here. I've seen Crazy Russian Hackers got a bunch of new videos up too. Yeah, Bourbon Street Joe says, rhymes with combat rations. You are correct. Those Croatian guys I'm talking about. I got nothing good to say about not wanting. See, here's the thing. It's 3 guys, and really I had issues with 2 of them, but here's the deal. Like, if you're all 3 going to pair up on something and call yourselves a group and make deals as a group, then you're all 3 responsible. Now, the 3rd guy, I'm not going to, like, whatever. I'm neutral on him. The other 2, I got literally nothing good to say about them. Because it's not like just a deal went bad. It was like they were total. They were pricks about it. Like they just. And on top of that, like, it was also their fault that what happened is it was a whole mess. Anyway, and the way I went out of my way to try to really set them up the way I tried to set them up, and then for them to be the way they were was kind of weird, actually. Okay, let me find. Okay, Waylon's first MRE. Clint Tuttle posted a video. It's only got 12 views. We can get this thing more views. It looks like a little kid trying his first MRE. That's noteworthy in the MRE community. I think that video should get a lot more attention than 12 views in the last 6 days. That was Clint Tuttle. Anyways, there's a guy on here that I noticed that's posting videos that I'd never heard of. I wanted to ask you guys is he in the community? Should I know this guy? Well, I must have scrolled down way further than I thought I did. I grabbed another ration earlier. I told you guys about the 4 fingers. I grabbed that other one. I don't even know what year it is, like 2012 maybe, that I got off of this guy that we bought my son's first car off of. Like, he gave me a case of MREs, civilian MREs. And I just grabbed it just to have something to eat in case my son didn't show up with the buns before before it was time to start eating. Okay, I still haven't found him yet. Emmy Made in Japan has also been posting ration reviews again. She didn't do that for a long time. If she did, you might see like one a year or something like that. But over the past couple of years, she really hadn't been posting that much as far as ration content goes, but it looks like she has been posting more regular. She just did a Dutch Arctic as well, and that was 2 weeks ago. I only have one Dutch Arctic myself. Hey, Fireman Food's here. And the one that I have is kind of, it's got a really storied history that goes along with it. Bob actually gave it to me because he wouldn't eat it because it had been passed around the country like it had been from East Coast to West Coast, back to the East Coast, and then I think it went back to the West Coast again, and then Bob got it. It had made these rounds through different people in the community. Steve had it for a while. Oh man, I just blanked on. His name has also got something to do with like emergency services and stuff. Minnie, where Minnie? All right, timeout, guys. I gotta go take care of this cat. All right, be right back. Yes, Minnie. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. I'm gonna let you out. Okay. Anyway, the Dutch Arctic that I have has been through a lot, and it's got a really storied history with it. Like I said, it's kind of cool. It's a little rough. Just looking at it, it looks a little rough. It's not been opened, but it's not been treated the best either. I think it's seen some heat and then cold and heat. So anyway, um, like I said, Emmy's got some videos up, and I said Crazy Russian Hacker's been posting ration videos, which is I I I don't know that he really has an interest in it. It seems maybe he does. Maybe he does, and he just doesn't convey that so much as it's just to him. It's just a way to make a video and a way to get views. That was, and I think that kind of hurt him over time because honestly, Crazy Russian Hacker went from getting millions down to roughly hovering around 1 million for a long time views to now like 75, 80,000 is what I'm seeing on his newer videos. I hate to see anyone's YouTube career go that way because most likely it's not really something he done, and it's not that people got burnt out on his content or anything. It's YouTube. It's the way YouTube promotes the videos. It's the algorithm, quote unquote, the algorithm. It's really the people behind the keyboards in California at YouTube. But okay, MRE Scout. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe I do. But I've seen his videos. He's had some videos take off and done pretty well in the past 8-10 months. I'm always happy to see ration videos doing well. He did unboxing the Arctic MRE that will keep you alive at -50, which must be a Russian. And then he did an iron ration. It must be like a reproduction. That got a lot of views. See, I've always been worried about using stock images like he's using, because a lot of times people own the rights to those, and if they find out that you use that for your thumbnail, they could end up claiming that whole video, and then you owe them money for all the money that if like on this one, he's made some money on that video, then you'd owe them money on all that. Like, I don't know. I prefer to try to keep it my own unless I can vet the image that it's definitely for public use. Then I will use those type of images. So I did just ask about this fella. He was funny at the beginning because he didn't know many English words similar to Jackie Chan. Yeah, I think you know, I don't think his speech has changed all that much as far as CRH goes. I feel like he lives in like North or South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. So he's around like some redneck types, and you know, obviously, I haven't seen a whole lot of change in his speech though. I think he tries to maintain that. accent and the way he speaks, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that he goes out of his way to maintain it instead of picking up on the dialect that he's around and the different accents. If he did pick up on those accents, he would sound more like I do, like a redneck. So, um, anyway, I was just curious if anybody knew anything about the MRE Scout guy. I was going to scroll back through. Uh, no, he's not. He's not. I wouldn't say he's bad. LC asked if there was anything wrong with Crazy Russian Hacker. Uh, he does some things that I disagree with, but that's a personal thing for me. It's not anything that I've seen him open some like what I would consider to be some historic rations um, that were in amazing condition and refuse to try them, and they just end up in the trash can. That's where my problem comes in with him. I feel like I know he knows that people out there like me and like Steve and some others have eaten these things, like especially the ones like he's had that were in just really, really good shape. And he'll open them and look at the stuff, and it literally, like he'll tell you, it's like it's going in the trash. Like there's to him, it's literally just to make content, and see that's where I get into the problem where I don't feel like he sometimes I don't feel like he really cares about it, and that's just a personal thing, man. To him, it's a business. I get that. It's just like I don't like that. I don't like that he wastes that because I know what I would do with it. Hot dog buns?
Did you get my text?
Obviously not. I'm on the live stream.
I didn't have any service. It saw literally zero.
Well, you would have got it coming home.
So I figured you already went.
No, I didn't have time to go.
You can go get them.
I
guess.
It don't matter. I mean, you can if you want.
Do we not have any?
No, I'm sure we don't. I don't even think I really got bread that I could use. Anyways, I didn't see any responses on the MRE Scout guy. I haven't watched any of his videos yet. I just saw him. Had a chance to ponder which... Daniel. I was just talking about that. The Mill Cold Weather. Daniel, what year are they? What year are the Mill Cold Weathers? I'll do it right now. I'll pick one out right now because I went back looking to see if maybe you possibly emailed me. I got caught in this email loop of deleting really weird emails that I've been getting. And I don't know how to block people from email. Is there even a way to block emails from coming in? Because I've tried to figure out how to put things like where they would go to the spam folder, and I can't figure out how to do that. I've tried to do it.
Either of these work?
Yeah, not really. It's all right. I'll eat something else. I'll eat that next week. I'll get buns. Not a big deal. I didn't realize it was going to be the Four Fingers of Death, or I would, because every other MRE I wouldn't need something like that. But unsub to them, Smokey. Unsub to who? Oh, unsubscribe to them. In an email? Here, I'm pulling it up right now. I don't know how that's... How is that even... I didn't know it was a thing. I'm sure there's more on here. Unless I got all the way through them, which I doubt it. I may have actually gotten all the way through them. Huh. Really? Hey, Ethan. Come here so I'm not yelling. Yeah, they must all be... You gotta finish cleaning up your room and stuff. Wow. I must have deleted... Because I'm way past where I got to. But I did go through at least 100 and some individual emails, and I'm not finding any of those now. That's crazy. So I must have gotten all the way back to where they started sending them to me, because I don't have any now. So I think I can go in my archives maybe and find them that way, if that's a thing. All mail. Am I not in all mail? Primary. Okay. Twitter. I don't even have a Twitter account. I don't have. I've never had Twitter. I have Instagram, and I do have freaking TikTok too. What? I'm wasting time. I can't find them. Anyways, let me look up the meal cold weather menus. See if he said what year. Bourbon Street knows a bit about MRE Scout. Oh, Bourbon Street does. Okay. Cool. Is he Canadian? Sir, great to see you again. The K in my first name sounds a G. Oh, Grot. Okay. Huh. You've probably told me that before, but as an American, when I see that, I'm definitely going to say the K. Okay, so like goat. Like, oh, Groat. Yeah, Groat. Okay, like yeah, like Groats, like the food. Let's see. I do not see the year here yet, so did anybody catch the year? I see John is in here, Multi-Magnum. Pull up MCW meals real quick. Oh, 2018. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Real quick question. Do you guys remember, or do you, like, how do you remember Gandhi's name being spelled? Like, what comes into your mind when you think of Gandhi? I mean, I couldn't tell you how to spell it, but I do, like, initially. Maybe I could spell it. Yeah, I could. Exactly. Okay, Daniel. Daniel's the only one that I see with a differing opinion so far. Everybody else, when I was growing up, like, Gandhi was a thing. Like, you'd see Gandhi on TV on the news or something. I think I might have watched a couple like documentary specials about him. I definitely had seen some things in him in written text. And as far as I remember from like my childhood, teen years, that time period of my life, because that's when Gandhi, in my opinion, was like really more popular. So Gandhi, I remember this quite well, unless now this is a possibility, unless they all misspelled it. It was spelled GhandI, or yeah, GhandI. I think Gandhi. Some GH. Anyways, GH. Definitely remember the GH. Like, that is a hard sticking point in when I saw it in text. I'd see it on the television or whatever, like maybe a PBS documentary or something that I watched. But no, it is spelled GandI, and I believe Daniel. Was it Daniel? Somebody got it right up here. Yeah, it was Daniel. Daniel, you got it right. It's GAN. Wait. Yeah, DHI. I always remembered it GHAN. D. I thought it was DI. Like, the H is like moved over. It's kind of weird. Mandela effect. Whether it's kind of a hard one though, because it's like the way I remember it. Maybe it could have been misspelled. It could have easily been misspelled by the person that texted it or that put it in the documentary when they wrote the text out. It easily could have been the case. So, I can't really put like my stamp of, oh yes, 100% I remember this a different way. That could have been a mistake on their part, but I do remember seeing it with the H for sure. But it's most certainly not spelled, or he did not spell it with the HGH. So anyway, kind of crazy. So 2018, 18 meal cold weather menus, MCW menus. How many of you guys saw that post that I made yesterday? Well, last night. Well, early this morning, maybe. Like, to me, it was last night. Okay. There are new 2022 MRE or MCW menus. Wait a second. Huh. No, I'm not where I need to be on MRE info. Let's see here. MRE Mountain looks like they got them up. Let's see. Maybe. He's got them. Jesus. His website sucks. I immediately got hit with 3 pop-ups that literally block most of the screen. Pop-up, pop-up, pop-up. Pop-up over here, pop-up here, pop-up here. Awesome. Menu 1, beef stroganoff. These are 18s, I believe is what it said. Let me double check. It's, according to him, what he's got posted, they're either 2018s or 19s. There may be a difference between an 18 and 19. I know there are new 2022 menus out, and I do believe that some of them are different. Hey, what's up, gabeRILLA? What's up, buddy? It's good to see you, man. Good to see Gabe here. I was just talking about you earlier. Let's see. Menu 2 is spicy Oriental chicken with rice. I don't know where menu 3. Oh, there it is. Menu 3 is chili mac. That would have been my first thought of would be chili mac, but I glance down and see that it comes with toasted corn nuggets and M&Ms. Nope. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, menu 4 is turkey tetrazzini. Menu 5, chicken and rice. That's my classic favorite. That's one I always end up going back to. I promise. I was talking about you. I kind of started out that way. Let's see, seafood chowder. That's one that I've never indulged in because I know myself and my personal preferences enough to know that I have zero interest in any type of seafood chowder. Now, I like if somebody else was eating one, I would taste it, but I'm not going to crack open a whole ration, open that big, huge main just to try it and end up not liking it and have to toss it. Dan, some of it was even nice stuff I was saying. Well, I told him, I was like, Gabe's content's different, but I feel like I told him I feel like you haven't gotten the recognition that you deserve for as consistently and interesting content that you post. The algorithm is definitely, well, not just the algorithm. It's the people that they claim are the algorithm that sit behind the keyboards in California that are the problem. You can't convince me otherwise. I watched all this stuff happen. I know, and now, especially what we know now, the way Twitter, which I knew this already anyways, but now that everybody can see the fact that it's been controlled from behind a computer. So, menu 7 is beef stew. Looks like it comes with smoked almonds, also toasted corn nuggets. Why are those so popular? No. Menu 8 is spaghetti. The freeze dried spaghetti ain't bad. It's way better than the retort. Like the retort's just like it's spaghetti paste. Let's call it what it is. It's spaghetti paste. It's not a menu that I would pick if I had any other choice, just about. But if it was between spaghetti and seafood chowder, I'd probably take the spaghetti in a retort situation. Let's see. Menu 9 is rice and chicken Mexican style. Menu 10 is scrambled. I love the breakfast. I love them. I think I'm a breakfast person anyways, but people think that they're boring as far as like content goes, but as far as the eating goes, like I love the eggs. I love the bacon that's in the eggs. Like especially the one that's like sausage and peppers and cheese and eggs. It's like it's perfect to throw into a tortilla and have a breakfast wrap. Like you want to add a little more cheese to it, but it makes like pretty much like a breakfast burrito from McDonald's, more or less. And then they started adding like those little hash browns that are like that big, like little freeze dried hash browns. Oh, they're really good. That's the breakfast skillet one. It's probably one of my favorite MC. That and the chicken and rice. Those two right there are probably my two favorite MCW menus. So menu 10, it says it comes with cream of wheat cereal, a granola bar, peanut brittle bar. This no, this has to be. He had to take these menus off of like the original 2005 or six, whenever the big switch happened on the MCW menus. Because a peanut brittle bar, I'm sure that's not the case. I am sure that is not the case. Menu 11 and menu 12. So I'm going to go with menu 11 or 12. Let's just go with the breakfast. Let me prove my point. That, by the way, if you do end up sending that, it's highly appreciated, and it will get eaten here. So you'll be providing me with a meal, and I appreciate that. And everybody else will get to watch me eat it. So that feels a little weird, you know. Which was the peanut brittle bar? Let's see. He's saying that it's menu number 10. Scrambled eggs with cheese Western style. Cream of wheat cereal. See, that's another thing on here. It's like cream of wheat hasn't been in since like a long. It ain't been in for a long time. Unless they changed it. They could have changed it 2019, 2020. I haven't had anything that fresh, I don't think. I can't remember what the last MCW I had was. I know I bought a bunch back in like I want to say they were 2016s or 17s, and when I bought them, they were only like 3 or 4 months old, which was weird to get them that fresh. And I bought like 2 boxes of 6, but they weren't like I didn't have a whole case. They were overlap menus, but that was the last time I had, I think, that I remember buying fresh, like loose MCWs. But as far as like what this is saying, cream of wheat, this is all menu 10. It says it has cream of wheat cereal, granola bar, and peanut brittle bar. Peanut brittle. I don't even know what that could be. I'm trying to think what that could be. I don't know what that could be. I really don't. I've never seen a peanut brittle bar. It seems like there was something listed as that in an old MRE that I had before, and it wasn't anything even remotely close to being a peanut brittle bar. Anyway, yeah, 11 or 12 would be great. I mean, menu 10 would be good too, but I'm sure that this menu list here is not consistent with what would be in it. They all have cocoa beverage powders. One has accessory packet E, which I don't know what that is. Let's see. Coffee cream, sugar, chewing gum, matches, hot sauce, hand cleaner, and toilet paper. They all kind of look the same. I don't even see what the difference is. Menu or accessory packet D and E are exactly the same as far as what's listed here. Accessory packet C has 2 toilet papers, but that's the only difference I see on that one. I also don't see any difference on accessory packet A or B. Coffee, cream, sugar, chewing gum, matches, hot sauce, hand cleaner, toilet paper, and salt. They all have the same. Oh, B has tea with lemon, which I don't think that's in the new ones either. Tea with sweetener and lemon flavor. See again, that okay, so that's in E. Anyway, I don't think these are right. I don't think they could be. That was just what I pulled up. Like I showed you guys the MRE mountain thing. I don't know. Oh, I asked you guys, what's fair food? Bog black cream. Yeah, hospital food usually sucks, to be quite honest. Unless you go off menu of what they give to patients, and you get something else that they just serve in the cafeteria. Sometimes some of that stuff can be okay, but you should order those MCWs from overseas so customs can take care of removing the pork from it. Yeah, that would suck. Cream of peat lasts forever. Tastes like cream of wheat. Tastes like a bog. Yeah, Daniel, 11 or 12 would be fine with me. We'll go with the breakfast. I'm super happy to have a breakfast. Chicken and rice is my like go to as far as, and I've stocked up on like individual mains out of long range patrols and mill cold weathers. I've probably got, I don't know, I've probably saved up at least 7 or 8 of those. They're scattered throughout my boxes. But usually, if I can, I get them, and I just, because I know if anything, if the crap ever hit the fan, like I would very much enjoy eating that, and you can easily change the flavor of that with a little bit of spices, and like it makes it into a whole different type of menu. Yeah, the consistency is going to be the same, but it has a whole different flavor, and it's easy to change the flavor on the chicken and rice. So I feel like that's a good survival preparedness meal, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. So I don't know if you guys happen to see that post that I made yesterday. And it's funny because Gabe just sent me a picture of him at Alcatraz. And yesterday, or last night, this morning, whatever, I posted that menu from 1946 for the whole week of what they were going to have on their menu at Alcatraz. And a lot of the responses that I got from you folks were saying that they were eating better than I way better than I do today. I was actually going to put that in my post. Like these guys were eating way better back then than I'm eating now. Like the menus are freaking awesome. I would be ecstatic if that was my prepared meals for the entire week, and like they were being taken care of. Al Capone set up a soup kitchen. Really? In jail? Oh, Orlando, what's up with the 20? I knew that they did something. I thought they changed something in 2022 on the MCWs. Going back to look and see what he said. Oh, whoa, yeah, that's a weird emoji, dude. Pink dinosaur. Stamp pot. What is stamp pot, LC? Let's see here. There's the one I posted. This was for from 9/2 to 9/8, 1946. So September 2nd. It's a September 8th. Breakfast, they were having stewed prunes, bran flakes, fruit mix, or fresh milk. Fresh milk, it says. Not just milk, fresh milk. Was there something that wasn't fresh milk? Like what? Old milk? That's weird. Sugar. What is that? Orange something. Orange roll? Looks like it says orange roll. Bread and coffee. That was breakfast. Dinner, split pea soup, roast shoulder of pork, sage dressing. Is that what that says? Brown gravy, mashed potatoes, stewed corn, apple pie, bread and coffee with milk. Supper was split pea soup again. Well, that kind of sucks. Boston baked beans, tomato ketchup, beet and onion salad, canned pears, bread and coffee. Some weird furry party. All right, man. Well, have fun. I'm sure you will. If I know Gabe, I know he'll go have some fun at a furry party. All right, man. That was one day of your food at Alcatraz in 1946. Let's pick a different day and just see how different it was. We're going to go to, let's see, was that Monday? I don't know, 4 days down. We got stewed peaches, hot griddled cakes, I guess pancakes. I don't know what this is. Hosay? 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 I don't know what that is. Hossy maybe? Hossy? I don't know what this stuff is. And then there's something else underneath that. Looks like OLEO. I don't know. Anyways, we'll go to dinner. It says vegetable soup, rolled corned beef, or no, boiled corned beef, steamed potatoes, quick cooked cabbage, prepared mustard, bread, and tea. And then for supper, vegetable soup, spaghetti and meat sauce, hominy salad, spiced crab apples, bread and fruit pudding, and bread and coffee. I'm just saying, like, give me that food for a week and I'll be happy. Like, they really were eating good. I ain't joking. Okay. So I did bring a box in here of some, like, random stuff that I pulled out. Let's, I'm just going to eat whatever's in here, I guess. I got some other stuff behind me that I can add to it if need be. Let's see what we got going on here. I think I've only had one of these. Or maybe I haven't had one of these. I'm not really sure. I don't know what's going to be in here. I didn't even look to see what menu this was. But obviously it says it on the back, but I haven't looked at it. So let's find out. jalapeno cheddar tortilla crackers. Nice. Crappy accessory packet. No way. Peanut M&Ms. Look at that. Strawberry banana dairy shake powder. Oh, that's awesome. Flameless ration heater. And chili and macaroni. Let me see what I got back here. I ain't got much, but I do have a fig bar from probably 04. What year are these? Yeah, they got to be 2012. 206th day of 2012. So we'll add the fig bar. That makes sense in here. That makes it more of a full menu, kind of. Chili and macaroni. That's not horrible on the sodium, to be honest. Like, it's not great, but 35%, 830 milligrams. So this one shouldn't kill me. I actually really, really like the chili mac. Hopefully these are in good shape. They appear to be. That's good. Usually you'd see some delamination on this if it had not been stored well. These bags tend to delaminate pretty quickly. So it looks good. All right, I'm going to go throw this in some water. I'll be right back. Also, next time I do the Polish ration, I'm going to get out a pack of those smokes, at least a pack. Delicious, I spoke with Delicious about this, and he said to smoke them all if I wanted to. So, definitely going to be opening some crazy foreign packs of cigarettes. And this, I'll get some buns, and we'll have this maybe next week, or probably not next week. I'll probably do something different, but sometime in the near future, unless you guys want to see that. Depending, it cold be the mild cold weather next week. There's a good possibility of that. LC's box might be here by next week. Don't know. Just depends. I know there's a holiday Monday. There's no freaking mail moving. My washer broke down, and I had to order a pump for it to pump the water out. And it's going to end up not, like, I ordered it Tuesday, broke about a week ago, roughly. I don't know. Laundry's piling up. It's driving me freaking crazy. Can't do laundry. So, yeah, I can't wait to get that pump replaced on that thing. And I called the repairman. He was going to charge me $140 just for the part. And I don't know what he would have charged me to come and put it in if I would have paid him to do that. But he was going to charge me $140 for the pump. The pump that I bought, lifetime warranty on it, ended up being like $26, $28, something like that. All in. So, yeah, not cool, man. Fig bars and that. I need to get this made and go throw it in the freezer. But I'll tell you what, it sucks not having a washer. Really, we take things for granted like that until we don't have them, you know. That's the way it always goes. But I figured I'd be able to get it fixed quicker than that. And another point I want to make, I ordered it from like Hebron, something like that, Kentucky, thinking, okay, cool, it'll be here quick, like, because it's only in Kentucky. And they had, you know, the estimated delivery date's always later than what it really should be, especially when you live as close to where it's at as I did. But because if they were shipping it to California or something, it would take longer. But they didn't ship it Not the next day, not the day after that, the day after that. That's why I'm not getting it until freaking next week. Had they shipped it out the next day, I would have had it yesterday. All right. Let's put some water in here. As soon as I do that, I'm going to go get that out of that boiling water, because if I don't, it's going to be taste like metal. Now, I know it looks like I filled it way up, but it's because there's so much powder in there. I mean, I did, I'm sure, overfill it because that's the way I like it. I don't like it to be real thick. All right, while I'm shaking this, I'm going to go get that out. Okay. All right, I just threw that into the freezer. And here shortly, I will go get it out of the freezer. I'll set this over here for a minute. Cheddar tortilla crackers. Tortilla? Wait a minute. What are these? Are these combos? Huh. What? Jalapeno cheddar tortilla. I don't know. I don't remember having these before. That's weird. I've had the cheddar ones, the cheddar pretzels, or wait, no, nacho cheese pretzels, which are my favorite. The ones with the tortillas crackers like this, I don't remember ever having jalapeno cheddar like that before. But cool. Oh, forgot we got an accessory packet here. Get this out of the way. I actually got coffee. That's cool. You know, little stuff like that, especially in these civilians, that you don't really think that much about, but you really are grateful to have when it comes to having it or not having it, you know. It's also got salt and pepper. And no, oh yeah, here's the sugar. Huh. And a fresh nap. Nice. Cool. And your little, definitely not a butt ration. No way. I mean, I guess, if you had to, obviously you would do what you had to do, but you don't want to be stuck with that being your only resort. You're going to be taking your socks off or using your underwear or whatever. All right, let's do some coffee. Bob Ross mug. Huh. thought I bought another Bob Ross mug other than the one that Bourbon Street Joe sent. I thought I bought one, and then at Christmas time, I don't know what I've done with it before I packed it up, I think. There's the neither deep nor rich coffee. Spray dried. Thing with this is you can only make like 4 or 5 ounces of coffee with it. You really can't. You can't make a regular cup of coffee with it. You want to get every bit of that out there that you can. Some coffee mate. Oh, great. That looks not good. Can't be any worse than what I had last week. Holy cow. That Canadian last week was just like right on the border of being fully edible or being not edible at all. Like it was just right in the middle. Why not just put one big pack of sugar in here? Bigger. How much is that? How much sugar's in there? Is it not going to say? Nope. Distributed by Berry Plastics. Extra fine granulated sugar. Distributed by Berry Plastics. Bremen, Georgia. I don't know how much sugar is in there. Not very much. Especially per pack. Oh, it's alright Eeyore happened to be in here. I think he was up there in the neck of the woods. It was supposed to get some really crazy weather there. Was it last week? Let's see what happens here. Alright. That's probably about 6 ounces of water. I probably overdid it by about an ounce or two. 4 to 5 ounces really your tops. If you go with 6 like I just did, it's going to be a little watered down. You know, this for a civilian meal, this is not bad. The M&Ms, these things. I want to try one of these. Very lightly salted, it looks like. They smell like old cheese. Cool. They taste like a 1990s MRE. Like they have that vintage basement cardboard weird flavor. It's got to be the cheese. They're not horrible, but I would not classify them as good either. They're certainly edible. Probably not going to come out like this. Probably going to have to cut the whole thing. They are a little spicy, actually. Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, there's half of the bar stuck to the inside of the package, which they like to do. Look at that. Crystallized sugar on the ends. Yeah, buddy. This came from Gundog, I'm pretty sure, in the that rat screwed MRE that he had set up, the one that was field stripped. It was Chili Mac, I think, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was. I don't know. We got the yellow M&M representing on the front of this peanut pack. I think the yellow M&M's always been the representative for peanut M&M's, if I'm not mistaken. I think M&M's was just making the news here recently about something they're doing, being woke and all, you know. I think they made the M&M a lesbian or something. I don't know. Anyway, M&M's are a little heat stressed, I can see. Some of them are cracked, and that's from being heat stressed, and that chocolate bloomed a little bit. But M&M's are interesting. They got quite the history, quite the story. And then that, like, their chocolate is tempered perfectly to be it melts at like 90, I think it's 99 or something like that. So it'll melt in your mouth, but not in your hand. So, but we all know that that's kind of silly too, because that candy on the outside, that candy coating, it'll come off on your hands. All right, let's see what this Chili Mac looks like. I'm going to open it long ways like a dummy, because it's just hard to deal with when you do that. But oh well. All right. Oh yeah, looking good. Looking good. I love me some Chili Mac. It really is. I don't know. The chili that they use in it is really good. Who was this made by? I'll have to check the box. I think this is a Warnick, right? EverSafe is Warnick. I'm pretty sure. Been a while. All right. What, Goose? Oh, goodness. I hear you. What? What do you want? What? 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 Oh, gosh. Come here. Come here. Oh. All right. You can say hi to everybody, I guess. Flip the camera around. Say hi. Are you a goose? Or are you a Lucy? Are you both a loosey-goosey? You purring? You happy kitty? Say hi to everybody. You quit talking. What'd you quit talking for? You give me lovin's? Give me lovin's? All right. You got your attention. And motorcycle purring. Yeah, she purrs a lot. She meows like when she wants something, or she wants me to mess with her, pick her up. She'll meow at me until I do it. Okay. Get rid of that. There we go. All right. Chili Mac time. Mix it up a little bit. So it looks good. It smells a little. I left it in there too long, I think. Let's find out. how it tastes. It's got my mouth watering, that's for sure. Because it does have that look of being quite tasty. It looks tasty. Here we go. Down the hatch. What was that? It tastes fine. I don't taste anything metallic on it. The meat is kind of tough, which is a little weird because I don't remember it being like that last time I had it. But different manufacturers, Chili Mac is going to taste different than others. So Warnick's is going to taste different from Ameriqual's. I do think, if I remember right, that Ameriqual's might have been my favorite, but it might have been Sapaco. I know it wasn't Warnick. I mean, there's a lot of meat in it, which is like really important to me. But it's really tough. And that's kind of weird to say about hamburger. All right. It needs something. So there's just a teeny tiny bit of salt in here. Really, there's not hardly any at all. Hey, buddy. Hey. Here, come here. Oh, I just inhaled a piece of hamburger. Told you it's hard. Hang on. Come here, buddy. Nope, come here. No. Come here and see everybody real quick. I was just talking about you. I know. This is Minnie's baby. See, he's pretty blind. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Well, he's wanting to go outside, so I'm going to let him out real quick. Alright. Right back. Going outside, bud. You don't have to go out. I'm cool with you not going out. Do you want out? Alright, alright. Come on. Take you in here to the food, okay? There you go. Okay. Want to add some pepper too. And of course I got some Tabasco on standby that I can use. Alright, we'll see if that amount of salt and pepper has helped it out or not. Probably so. Alright, here we go. Hot. I wish I had crackers or something. Bread. It needs it. Something to give you like a change of texture. I guess I'll go for one of these. They just taste really weird. They smell real weird. They definitely smell old. Like 99% of people would not eat that. I'm sure of it because it smells. It just smells all wrong. It smells like I said, like just old, dingy oldness. I don't know. I do kind of like them though. It's not a flavor that I necessarily enjoy, but like I'm okay. I'm okay with these. Hmm. What are you doing back in here, buddy? I think I'm gonna have to go let him out the back door. All right, buddy, go. What do you need food? Go on. Hey, Ethan, come here and do me a favor. All right. So now that I've let the flavor settle a little bit, this is something I don't usually get to do, but where I had to go deal with him just now, and I took a bite right before I left. I kind of let the flavor settle a little bit, and I don't know why, but I really like the mixture of the cracker and the chili mac. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to have to try some with a little Tabasco or something also. I haven't gotten any beans yet either. Which the last chili mac I had beans in it. I like that. This looks like just a meat chili. Which isn't really chili, I guess. I like the aftertaste a lot more than I like the initial flavor. If that makes any sense. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I get that. But the aftertaste is like pretty daggone good. You get the jalapeno heat, and then like the aftertaste of like the tomato, a little sweetness with that. The meat, the hamburger. I do wish there was beans in this though. I am like really thinking about. I wish I had the beans in here. I don't see any. Yeah, there's not any. All right, little touch of Tabasco, a little skosh, a little skosher. Well, maybe not. I think I put all my Tabasco bottles up. Well, no, I got one right here. I got that hot diggity dog sauce up there too. Oh, yep. One little splash. That's all I want. Just a little bit of flavor. Tabasco is very overpowering. Like very, very overpowering. Okay. Oh my God. Well, a whole lot of times I don't think that it improves on a main dish. I would say that this is like, you know, it does improve it in some ways. It just kind of depends on what you're wanting out of your meal at that time. It's pretty good. Lots of vinegar though. God. What are you barking at? Get in here now. Goose. Lucy. Get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. There's a cat making weird noises out there. And that might have been why she was barking. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like Lucy. I'm going to have my son check it out. I might have to use this here in a minute. Alright, going to rinse it down with this not deep nor rich coffee. See how it tastes. Actually, not too bad. It's surprisingly good. Huh. Maybe I've just been really wanting a cup of coffee and I haven't had it in a long time. That cup last week was just, it was a waste. That creamer ruined it. I did try to drink it. I skimmed the top off. What you guys didn't get to see, I don't think. Or maybe you did get to see it. I don't know. But whenever I stuck the spoon in there, it was like electroplating or electro dipping stuff, and it coated the entire spoon, and it was just a weird, nasty mess of bad creamer. But something else happened when I was cleaning it up, but I can't remember. I almost filmed like a short and put it up. I thought about filming it because it was so weird. I can't remember what it was now, though. That's really good. I don't understand. Like, it must be the creamer and like just enough sugar. It's like a perfect cup of coffee. I don't give deep, rich coffee props very often. Or ever. This is first. It's actually really good, though. Okay. So, there's some fig filling falling out there that, yeah, falling apart on me. I'll eat that in a minute and get a bite of this. The end is the best part by far. The two ends where all the like sugar tries, I don't know if it like regathers on the ends, but you can see how that's like sparkly on the end right there, and it's not through here. It's all migrated towards the ends, like trying to escape. It's kind of weird. I don't really know what causes it to do that, other than maybe heat. Melting it and it trying to like make its way out of the cake, but I really like the crunchy ends usually, so, and it smells like fig. I used to not like fig Newtons and stuff whenever I was growing up. I mean, I didn't hate them. I would eat them, but I usually only like to eat like one. That's something about fig Newtons, fig bars, whatever. Is I feel like they're good in small portions, small quantities, like 1 or 2 bars. Like this is the size of about 2 fig Newtons if it was still together and like normal. But about 2 fig Newtons is enough. Like that's enough for me usually. But here we go. Mmm. Crunchy. That really is good though. Mmm. Where this thing split down the side, it kind of looks like this, the piece over here's got a crunchy sugariness to it. Like that piece right there, the fig. Let's see if it's crunchy. Mmm. Yeah. That's going to be a little treat into itself, it looks like. A weird little strip of fig Newton, fig bar cake. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's still moist. Very figgy. A little crunchy on the ends. Mm. I get burnt out on that flavor pretty quick, though, I think, is what it is. I don't know. I guess I'll go with the classic, one that's not cracked. And there's the M on it. You can barely see it, but it's there. All right, here we go. That's a bad peanut. Either rotten or burnt. Or both. Possibly. And try a different one. Yeah. Way better. Wow. I didn't realize how bad that first one was till I ate the second one. It wasn't that the M&Ms were bad. It was just that they put a bad peanut in it. So that tastes perfect. Like you just bought it at the store. I want to try one of these cracked ones and see if there's a difference in flavor. There definitely is. M&Ms, like, they'll be edible for pretty much like ever, as long as they haven't completely melted down. But they do taste weird. Like, especially the peanut ones, but I mean even the regular ones. Okay, that peanut was bitter. Surely they're not all going to be like that. Let me try this other cracked one. Peanuts in both those are really soft. And like, no peanut flavor. Outside of like a little mustiness. Kind of weird. The difference between one that's not cracked up and one that's cracked is like so much difference. Wow. Yeah. Night and day. Huh. I mean, right on the border. I guess if he's seen more heat. Again, these other ones would have probably cracked open. There's a huge difference in the way the chocolate tastes, too. And the ones that aren't cracked. Like, it has that classic M&M chocolate flavor. Hey, Ethan! I told him to come here. He was in the bathroom. I'll heat that up after. I'm actually going to finish eating that, I think. Now we'll check on that strawberry dairy shake after I have a smoke here. Oh, another bite of this fig bar. These things are, you know, I would probably eat these very on a regular basis if I could get aged ones like this. If I could get old aged fig bars like this on a consistent basis, and they didn't cost me a fortune to get them, I would probably eat. I'd eat one of these a day, like one package of these a day, if I could get them. They're really good, but then I'd probably get burned out on them pretty quick. I don't know, just the uniqueness of the flavor and the textures that you don't get in a normal fig bar with an aged with an aged fig bar like this. These peanuts are doing something to my throat. Now, those couple bad ones that I ate tickle my throat a little bit. Anyway. Yeah, I'd get burned out on that pretty quick, but I don't know. It's a special event when I get to eat a fig bar like that. I try to savor it. It's really good. I can't believe how good that deep, rich coffee is. I'm dumbfounded. I have never had good luck with that stuff. One more bite. It's making my mouth water. Oh, Kaylin, yeah, I will as soon as I smoke a cigarette, because I doubt it's completely frozen yet. I don't want it to freeze completely. I want it to be a slush. It's been in there not an hour, not even close. And I laid it flat on top of a box of frozen stuff so that I could get more surface area on that already cold surface. So hopefully it would help it freeze quicker, but it might not have froze at all. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how far I got my freezer turned down. So we'll see. I'm going to have one of these from Trucker. I'm going to have a good, fresh cigarette right now. Because, I don't know why. Because I really like that fig bar. And I feel like a good Canadian smoke will go well after that. I need to find some more cans of smokes. I got one can up there left to open. Some weird brand, it says Cigarettes Paris on it. I guess it's probably from the 80s or 90s. It's a weird can. I've never seen another one like it. And the way things are going right now, that can's probably worth, I don't know, 150. I don't know. It's a 50 count can, I do believe. I'm going to use a Canadian match just to match the Canadian cigarette. Do you still have the baby cat? Yeah, oh yeah. Well, she was right here. I have to go get her. Yeah. Just today, I noticed something with her though. I don't know if there's something wrong with her or what, but she's like peeing brown, like enough that I'm concerned, like what could be going on. She's not acting weird. She hasn't had anything weird to eat or drink that I know of, unless she's gotten into something that I haven't found or something. It's just weird. It's weird. I've never seen anything like that happen. Yeah, obviously kidney failure. The only time I've ever seen urine this color was not from an animal. It was from Amber, and she had gallstones, and they had blocked off her kidneys. This was Jeez. Probably 15 years ago now, roughly. Right around about. And the hospital, the local hospital down here, almost killed her. I took her to the hospital multiple times where she was having issues with those gallstones, and I think she might have had pancreatitis because of it. And I think I took her to the ER 3 different times, and they sent her home with gas. Told her she had gas all 3 times. Um, oh, hang on just 1 second. Anyway, all 3 times they sent her home and said she had gas. And the 4th time, the paramedics had to come pick her up. She collapsed. She couldn't get back up. So they took her to the local hospital. And that first day I went in, she was in bad shape, lots of pain. Um, she was bad shape. Um, I told her, I was like, let me take you out of here and take you to this other hospital, because I didn't like that hospital. I didn't trust them. I still don't. I don't trust any of them anymore. But I was like, let me take you to this other one. You know, they'll be able to work on you quicker. Plus, this place right here, it was the same hospital with the ER, had told her that there was nothing wrong with her 3 times in a row. She just had gas and gave her antacids. Anyway, 4th time she's down there and she's like, she goes, I don't want to move. They're doing the emergency surgery tomorrow morning, and that was supposed to be on a Wednesday morning. And I was like, I couldn't argue with her because I could tell she was in horrible pain and didn't want to move. So that night went by, and I had both our kids, and I was trying to go see her and bring them home and feed them and bathe them, back and forth. And then I was trying to stay there as much as I could. And then the next morning rolled around, like, we're there ready for surgery. They come in and they're like, they had to postpone the surgery because the surgeon couldn't be there or something. And I was like, God. It's like, Amber, just let me take you out of here. And she goes, I really, I don't want to move. I'm in too much pain. And I was like, okay. Like, you really need to think about letting me take you out of here to a different hospital. So they rescheduled for the next evening for the surgery. The next evening rolled around, which would have been a Thursday evening, and they came in and said they weren't going to do the surgery again, postponed it again. And by this time, her kidneys were shutting down. She was turning yellow and peeing black, and like it was bad. It was really bad. Like, she was dying. She was dying slowly. She was dying. And I was like, God, let me. And by this time, she feels even worse. She's in even more pain. So, like, when she tells me she doesn't want to move, then, like, I give in, and I'm like, I can see, like, you don't want to move. And it was bad. And I was young. At that point. I was 20. What I'd been 25 or something like that. And we let it go. She didn't end up having the surgery until, I think it was Sunday. It was like a Sunday morning or evening, something like, I can't remember. It was ended up being 5 days past when they were supposed to do the surgery, and they almost killed her. Like, she is probably lucky to have lived through that. And had we not been young and healthy like we were at the time, like that, if something like that was to happen to me today and it get pushed like that, it'd kill me. I'd die. Like, I know I wouldn't make it through something like that. Like, if I was in that position. So they're supposed to go in and remove her gallbladder. But here's the thing. from everything I've been told by other people and from what I've read, is if you have your gallbladder removed, they don't remove the stones from the gallbladder. It's just they go in and like suck your gallbladder out more or less, and that's it. Like it's done. They don't go through and pick the stones out of the gallbladder after. They gave us the stones in a jar. I still have them somewhere. Like it crazy. She had like, I'm going to guess between 30 and 50 of these little stones inside of her gallbladder, and they were supposed to have removed her gallbladder, but yet they gave us the stones. And at the time, I didn't know or think anything of it. It was years later with the internet, because back then I didn't have no smartphone or anything like that. It would have been, let's see, what year would that have been? 2008, right? 2007. I don't think I got a smartphone until 2009, 8, late 2008, 2009. I mean, I had cell phones, but not like a smartphone. And I didn't really learn how to use it like we do nowadays for probably a couple of years. So I was hardcore against smartphone technology. I hated it. I thought, and I was right. It was awful for the world, and it was awful for people, and it was just, and I avoided it for years. I kept a flip phone, a Razor, you know, you guys, a Motorola Razor. I kept one of those for forever. Even after I went to work out on the river, and first couple of years I worked out there, there were people had smartphones and stuff, and I had no interest in them, what at all. And then I ended up getting one and using the crap out of it, and like streaming video on our TVs on the boats and stuff. So it made life a little easier in that aspect, but I always had tons of seasons of DVDs that I kept. So what is it now? I had my gallbladder removed. I had a huge stone inside. Not a bunch of. Oh, she had a bunch of small ones. Tell Ethan to come here when you go back the hallway. I've never had gallstones that I know of. I've had pancreatitis twice, which was, oh my God, ungodly awful. Smokey, I reviewed a menu 10, milk cold weather. Mine was 2017, I think. Cheddar cheese pretzels, toaster pastry, frosted brown sugar, and cinnamon. Maple muffin top, trans fat free, chocolate hazelnut cocoa, and granola with blueberries. What did I say that was in the weird? Oh, it had he had cream of wheat listed on there, and that peanut brittle bar. Yeah. Thank you for the super. Thank you for the super chat, Bourbon Street Joe. I finally got to subscribe to Bourbon Street Joe's channel last week. He's got a ton of videos up there, guys, and I think you can again now click on his profile in here and go straight over to his channel and subscribe. If you guys want to do that right now, that'd be awesome. Just go over there, hit the subscribe, come back. You get that right there by the back later. All right, that's it. All right. Falling apart. Yeah, I like to savor these. Oh, that's the end. Mmm. Mmm. So crunchy and sugary. Ah. Let's see if the strawberry dairy shake's frozen. Be right back. I don't think it's frozen at all. Dang. Well, if you got one of these or can get your hands on one of these, which this is strawberry banana. I don't think I've had a strawberry banana one in a while. All the ones that I've had have been strawberry. I don't know if I've ever even done this with a strawberry banana before, which it hasn't worked yet. But mix up one of these bad boys, throw it in the freezer, and oh yeah, it's kind of worked a little bit. Just it froze on that one side where I laid it flat. Maybe I should have left it upright. I don't know. Is that spoon broken? Weird. Hang on. Let me knead it up a little bit. Let's see if that worked. Anyway, the ones that I've done like this are just freaking awesome. It's like MRE ice cream. Look at that. It's so smooth and rich. Look at that. That is MRE ice cream. And Bourbon Street Joe, thank you for that super chat, by the way. Yeah. Oh, that is so good. The banana definitely changes it. I like the strawberry on its own better. It's just like strawberry ice cream. This is almost like kind of a banana split kind of flavor to it. Like if you've ever had banana split ice cream, where they try to recreate the flavor of a banana split in ice cream. This is like the strawberry portion of that. Yeah. It's really, really refreshing. It's a little bit like smoothie-ish. The whole thing's a little, it just barely kind of got a little bit of a freeze to it. It's really cold, but yeah. So that's going to go back in the freezer so I can let it. Now, letting it completely freeze, what you got to do, let it freeze completely solid. Now, when you make this is going to be a personal opinion thing, I think, but this has been my experience. I usually fill it up to about right there, roughly, maybe the top of those letters. Put it in there, let it freeze. Take it out for about 25-30 minutes, let it kind of thaw, and then just knead the crap out of it. And it turns into ice cream, like legit ice cream. It's really a unique way of having an MRE dessert, in my opinion, because it's not technically a dessert. I don't know what you'd classify that as, really. I mean, maybe it is considered a dessert. I don't know, actually. I seen something about Lucky Strikes. What did I see? My chat. James said, have I ever had an original Lucky Strike cigarette? Well, they still make Lucky Strikes today, actually. But as far as like Lucky Strikes like this, when you're talking like a vintage Lucky Strike, the oldest Lucky Strike I've had is probably, huh? I know I've had World War II Lucky Strikes. I think I had a 1937 Lucky Strike one time. I think that's the oldest Lucky Strike I've ever had, or maybe it was 39. 37 or 39. Come out of the green pack. The ones that they stopped making because of the copper in the, that they used to make the collar. Oh. Yeah, but I highly recommend if you guys can get your hands on a strawberry or a strawberry banana dairy shake, or probably I'm going to try it with the chocolate. If I don't know that I have a chocolate. I know I got one of the protein ones, but I don't think I just saw a chocolate one. Where did I see it at? I was digging around for stuff today and I saw it. A chocolate something. I saw a chocolate dairy shake of some kind. That might be interesting to freeze. I don't necessarily like the protein ones because they taste like protein powder, like basically like workout powder. So you'd have to get with like one of the chocolate, like regular chocolate ones, and freeze it and see how that works out. Or like the chocolate hazelnut or cocoa beverage powder. I'm gonna try freezing one of those too. I don't know. Maybe it'll be awesome. Maybe it won't be. I think the pouch that it comes in is perfect to freeze it in and then thaw it out a little bit, and you can knead it up, and that really gives it that almost ice cream consistency. It's a little more icy than it is. It's not creamy like ice cream, obviously, not like you'd think, but it's also not chunky icy like you would think either. It's kind of in between. It's like a smooth ice. It's weird. I would have to say it's pretty unique. If you guys can get your hands on it, I highly recommend trying it out for sure. Um, I did bring that box of stuff in here that weighs like 60 pounds probably of just different stuff in a. It's a UK, originally a UK case that the UK rations come in. I got rations off this guy about 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and he would take the cases and break them down and flip them inside out, and then like tape them all back together so that you couldn't see all of the British printing on the outside. I've never flipped one back around, but I probably will at some point, just so I have that case in more or less mint condition because it's been flipped inside out the whole time. The inside of it's going to have a bunch of stupid tape and labels and stuff on it, which I'm fine with. So, but yeah, I don't even know what all's in that box. Not live stream stuff though. I know that it's stuff that needs to be reviewed. Ever had an original Lucky Strike? I I mean, I guess I have. I don't know what you mean by that, I guess. I mean, I've had plenty of Lucky Strikes before. An original Lucky Strike, meaning the first year that they were ever produced, would be an original Lucky Strike. Yeah, the oldest Lucky Strike I had was, well, I think it was either 37 or 39. It was still in a green pack. It was still in the pre-World War II copper. They used copper to make that green colored pack. The oldest cigarette that I've had so far is 1919, but I have some that are 1908 that might be right here, actually. Nope, I know where they're at. They're not in here anymore. They used to be right there. I put them up. But I do have a pack that, before I ever started any of this, it was probably 8, 9 years ago now. I can't remember what brand they are now. They're It's a little box, a little red box, about like that. It's got the tax stamp on it. They're 1908, right? 1908, 1907, 1907, 1908, or 1909. Can't remember what exact year they are, but I do have a pack that I opened. I wasn't, well, at the time it wasn't a thing for me to film anything like that, so like I should have filmed myself cutting them open, because I cut through the tax stamp and stuff, and flipped it open and looked at it. It's still got, well, I mean, it has a piece of like wax paper folded over both ways to cover it up, and then it's got cork filters that have a hole through the center of them. It's kind of weird, but, well, I guess it's not really filtering anything. It has the appearance of a filter, but it just has a hole through the middle of it, so it's not really doing anything. It keeps the tobacco from going in your mouth. Like, if you've ever smoked a non-filter cigarette or whatever, like, you always get tobacco in your mouth. I'm going to assume that this cork filter will prevent that. But I think I have smoked a different brand, of not as old, of one of those cork filters that were hollowed out. Just kind of a weird thing. Must be lagging in Ohio. We just got them back maybe a few years ago. They weren't for sale up here, as far as yeah, no, you're right, James. They really kind of just hit the market again around here. I think they've been a brand in China for quite some time. Like, they just didn't market or sell in the United States anymore. And in my personal opinion, they ruined them. Lucky Strike is an iconic, and I mean iconic, brand that still everyone to this day recognizes as being an iconic brand. And the cigarettes that they produce now are probably one of the worst that you can get your hand. They're awful. They're absolutely awful. I put them down there with like Mavericks and like what other cheap brands are there now that are just horrible. I'll tell you, a cheaper brand that I tried recently, because I couldn't get my normal brand, was I bought a pack of Winstons, and I was shocked at how decent they were, because they were $1.50 a pack less than what I was used to, and there's a slight difference between them and a Pall Mall, but the price, they're decent. They're better than a Marlboro. Marlboros have went. I mean, they went in the crapper. They're not any good anymore. They Pall Mall are probably one of the best regular brands you can buy, outside of buying like an American Spirit, or maybe like a non-filter Camel or something like that. American Spirits are really good cigarettes, but they're also, like, I don't even know how much they are. Like, back whenever I was paying like $4 a pack, $3.50, $4 a pack, they were like $10, $11 a pack. So now I can only guess that they're probably about $15 a pack. I don't know who would pay that for them and buy those, but they're supposed to be, I think their claim is they're all natural. Well, yeah, no. There's no way that they got all that bull crap in the filters, just like all the other ones do. I mean, I think the cigarette industry could be fixed by removing a bunch of the stuff that's in that filter. Like, the filter doesn't need to contain all these chemicals and stuff that they do. It's just like people that smoke non-filters. It's like you're punished for wanting to smoke a non-filter cigarette, because they'll, like, Camels were At they were more expensive than the American Spirits that are all natural. So if you want a pack of non-filter cigarettes, they're smaller, and they charge you 3 times as much as buying a regular cigarette. 3 times as much. And it's pretty much been that way for as long as I can remember. I always forget to put it on live chat, so I don't see some of your guys' chat. Or maybe it is on live chat. I don't know. I don't think I did it this time, though, so I'm sure I missed some stuff. But I've said this 100 times back, like, I don't know when they did it, which I guess I could Google it right now. Because this is a fact that I should know anyway. Let's see here. Huh. That Alcatraz menu was posted by Daily Mail. Huh. When did they post that? There's some other really interesting menus on here. San Quentin is on here as well. There's a weekly menu for San Quentin. Here's Alcatraz Christmas Day 1954. The menu is let's see. Stuffed celery, ripe olives, roast turkey, oyster dressing, giblet gravy, snowflake potatoes, buttered peas, cranberry sauce, park house rolls, bread, and what is this pronounced aioli? OLEO? That's not aioli, right? Is it? Anyway, pumpkin pie, fruit cake, and coffee. That's the Christmas menu for 1954. And they also did a Christmas play that day as well. They give them, and well, that's a program. A program from 1954 Christmas Day. What they would get. OLEO. It's margarine, huh? So margarine, huh? Just fat. Margarine is just fat, right? I always thought margarine was butter, but there's a difference, right? Margarine and butter. I know I've eaten plenty. It's plenty of margarine. It's the same thing as butter. I'm pretty sure. It might be a little bit lighter in color, maybe a little more fat added. I really don't know what the difference between the two is. Pretty cool stuff, though. Interesting. Oh, crap. Wow. Here's one from 1929. How about that? Let's see. Oh, it's just a Christmas play. Or the whatever, the play, or what's it called? You know what I'm trying to say. Program. Get with the program, Smokey. Jeez. Which one's this? Oh, this is an older one. Personnel. Hospital. Alcatraz, California. Dinner, oxtail soup, oyster cocktails, American punch, roast suckling pig, applesauce, nut dressing, roast turkey, cranberry sauce, giblet gravy, mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, green peas, candied sweet potatoes, celery, fruit salad, olives, pickles, Piccadilly, mince pie with hot sauce, pumpkin pie, fruit cake, coffee, apple, peach, pear, banana, grapes, assorted nuts, assorted candies, cigarettes, and cigars. Cool. Cigarettes and cigars were provided. Very, very cool. March 13th, 1956. 2 grilled frankfurters, 1 hot chili, parsley potatoes, pot fried sauerkraut, buttered carrots, 1 mustard, 1 banana pudding, and 2 Frankfurter rolls. So 2 hot dog rolls. Margarine is soybean oil? Really? Huh. I had no clue that that was what that was. I won't eat margarine, eh? Huh. Yeah, I knew soybeans are awful for you. Very unhealthy. Originally white, so as to not confuse with butter, they added a package of colorant. Margarine was originally white, so it's not too. So it seems to me like they did confuse it with butter by adding. I'm pretty sure margarine is yellow now, is it not? I mean, like you can get Crisco, which is just that's just is that margarine? Is Crisco margarine? Maybe it is. It's white. Yeah, I'm a butter guy myself. Which I mean, I am guilty of doing the I can't believe it's not butter stuff from who does that? Can't believe it's not butter. What brand is I can't? Is that the brand? Is it? I can't believe it's not butter. I can't remember what brand that is. I'm drawing a blank. Shortening is lard. Okay, so that's what Crisco is, right? That's lard. My grandma used to always keep, obviously, bacon fat, but she would keep lard. Well, that's what she called it, in a separate container that she would render, I would assume, off of whatever she was cooking. I don't know how she got. I know how she got the bacon grease, which that might be where the lard came from. It might have been bacon grease mixed with other fats like beef fat, maybe that she would drain off of like hamburger, maybe. Animal fat. Shortening is from vegetable. Okay, shortening is from vegetable oils. Okay. I know, like, I need to get collagen in my diet. That's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. Definitely over the past couple weeks. I'm like, I need to get some collagen. But I have taken collagen supplements before, pills, and they don't seem to work for me. I feel like I need something that my body can break down a little better than a pill, maybe like maybe a powder or something. Brummel is brown. I don't know what Brummel is. Crisco's shortening. Okay. Fried chicken and pig lard. Oh, I could see that being good. I mean, like if you save your bacon grease and stuff like that and cook other things with other animal fats that you've saved in a jar, you just put a strainer on top, strain your bacon grease, strain whatever into your jar. My grandma used to do that stuff all the time, and she didn't even care like these pieces of bacon or something in it because if it's suspended in that fat, it's not. It doesn't go bad. Like it's kind of weird how that works, but fat is like a really really good preservative, natural preservative. Uh, Salt, obviously, salt preserves just about everything by drying it out, more or less. It just I have never eaten anything that was completely salt cured. I don't know if any of you guys have had experience with eating salt cured anything, but I can only imagine how salty it must be. It used to be fried in animal fat. Yeah, I do remember hearing something about them making a change at some point. I wish I had the story for Oreos in front of me because Oreos has got a really interesting story how they went through the different fats. Because when we did that segment for the show, I don't even know if it made TV. Did it? Did the Oreo segment make TV? I don't know if it did or not. Anyway, we had 3 different eras of Oreos. And those 3 different eras of Oreos, the first one we had, the oldest one we had, was not kosher. So it would have been probably animal fats that was in it. And then the second era of Oreo that we had was kosher. And when they did that, I want to say that they purchased 24 huge ovens, and every single one of those huge ovens had to be blessed and purified and blessed by a rabbi to make everything kosher. And then it could never be touched by animal fat or anything like that. He had to go through on every single one of the ovens. You know how they got like a asbestos gasket around the seal to seal the oven doors. The rabbi had to go around and burn every single one of those gaskets on there. For some reason, I want to say that they spent like $18 million doing the switch from not being kosher to being kosher by buying the new ovens and everything. And the thing is like nobody noticed. Nobody. That was the big thing. They didn't advertise it. They didn't make it part of their selling strategy. Okay, now we have a kosher. Our cookies are kosher or anything like. They just kind of quietly did it. Nobody noticed the difference in flavor. They switched from animal fat over to vegetable, and then the third, the most recent. We had 2 old packages and a new package. They were actually tins, and I think I've got my tin. One of my tins right here. Never mind. This is a Planters one from 2012. I don't even. This is one I bought. I have a tin, an Oreos tin, that belonged to my dad. My dad gave me, and it's probably from late 80s, early 90s. And he kept like old lighters and stuff like that in it. But we had the new ones, and there was something different about the new ones, the fresh ones that we had too. I'd have to go back and watch and do my research again because I've forgotten some of the stuff that I learned in that time period. It's been, heck, 3 years ago now, just about, or it has been 3 years ago since I probably filmed that. Let's see, that was probably started in July of 19. So yeah, it's definitely 20, 21, 22. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably definitely been, I don't know, probably close to it. Oh, Alex, awesome. It was so we had 4 different. Did we have 4 different? Maybe we did. 80s, 90s, 2000s, and modern day without any trans fat. So the new ones are trans fat free. Awesome, cool. So that's where they made the change on the new ones. The Oreo segment was on TV. Oh, okay, cool. Obviously, because you got that info. See, I don't know what stuff made TV and what didn't, because I really didn't watch. But maybe I don't know that I watched any full all the way through. I still should watch them probably. I watched, like, if you added it all up, I probably watched a total of like 5 episodes, I would say, and not full 5 full episodes. I saw part of probably 7 of them. I don't know. It's just not some. It's not. I don't know. I'm proud of what we did. It's just weird watching yourself on TV, I guess. Yeah, the most recent ones had no trans fat at all. Cool. It's. I can't remember exactly. I know that the oldest ones were awful. The ones with the animal fat in them were awful. And then when they switched over, it seems like when they switched over to the vegetable in, I'm going to assume, the 90s. I don't. Maybe those ones weren't too bad, or maybe it was the 2000 ones. Whenever they, I don't know. Maybe it was the 2000s ones that didn't taste too bad. Obviously, the '80s ones, not only because of the animal fat, but also because of the age, and I don't know how. We don't have no idea how they were stored, because I'm pretty sure that they all came from different people. So, that reminds me. At one point, I was looking for some of those, trying to buy some older tins, because tins are really, they're a great way for stuff to be sealed and preserved if it's got a plastic seal around the lip of the top. If it's actually got that plastic seal around it, I mean, I'm going to guess that they would last 10 years without any real flavor changes, I would say. I bought a tin of cookies this year, and the best by date on the tin of cookies that I got is 2025. So, or 2025. Yeah. Yeah, it's 2025. Because I remember thinking it was over 2 years. So that would put it at 2025. March. It was March of 2025. Christmas cookies that I picked up that were National Lampoons. Because I bought Clark to go in my passenger seat of my car next year. So next year I'll have a light up Clark Griswold in my passenger seat at Christmas time. They were on sale after Christmas. I paid $11.50 for it. So I felt good about that purchase. For the little inflatable thing that plugs into this cigarette lighter. Yeah, it's whatever. Coffee. Nope. I just call her Little One. That's what I call her. I mean, I guess that's her name. She's the only one that's called Little One. The one in the middle. So, see, that's what I was kind of thinking. The '90s one was the vegetable fat one was the better one. Well, not better than the fresh one, obviously, but as far as like the aged ones goes, it seems like that was the better. And the only one I think that wasn't really edible, like the animal fat one, the oldest one, was just, it was really rancid. The fats had gone way off on that. Real, like it was mouth numbing and not palatable. It had seeped into the cookie, and the cookie, like, you couldn't even take the cookie off of it and try it. Like, it was just wrong. Man, Matt would, so after we filmed something, he wouldn't never let me eat as much as I wanted to eat. If there was something that was uh, palatable to me, maybe not so much to other people, but something I wanted to eat, like the Pringles. Uh, there was what, the Long Range Patrol. There was multiple things. We would get it out, we'd film it, we'd eat whatever, and then he'd want to put it up, like exactly how we finished. Like if we had it out on a plate, he would want to leave whatever was in the package, and what was on the plate, and put it in like a tote, and just leave it there. Like set it off to the side and leave it there. And I didn't know he was doing this in the beginning. And then I found out that he was taking this stuff and just setting it off to the side. And some things that's fine, like the Pringles. We came back to the Pringles can probably 3 or 4 months after we initially opened it. Now, with it being open 3 or 4 months, and it was from the '70s, and it was a little rancid. Not bad though. I mean, really not bad, but it definitely had a rancid flavor and smell to it. But no side effects or anything, no weirdness. And we came back to that can of Pringles like 4 months later, and it was better. It was better 4 months later. Like it had aired out. That smell had kind of dissipated, and they were nice, and they were salty, and they were crunchy. They were good. they still had a little bit of that rancid taste to them, but nothing like they did initially. But he would put some things up, like I think it was beef and rice. Was it or pork and rice? Beef and rice or pork and rice, something like that. The long range patrol, one of the long range patrols that we opened up, like it got put up, and didn't see it for like another 3 months, and it was interesting to see after it had sat there for 3 months what had happened to it. Like it was unrecognizable. Some of these things, like I don't know, like another one was the rice. Did I think it was rice? Was it rice-a-roni or minute rice or something like that? I can't remember. But there was that. There was some interesting changes that had happened. Nabisco is an interesting brand. I think the ones in the middle you like the best. Okay, just Googled it. In its day, Hydrox. Yeah, Hydrox was the Oreo before Oreo. Did dominate one sector of the market. Oh, yeah. Jewish people who kept kosher Oreos contained lard. Jews who kept kosher. Oreos contained lard until 1993. Okay, Nabisco eventually altered the recipe and obtained kosher certification in 1998, eliminating Hydrox, the last significant toehold in the market. Yeah. Yeah, see. Oops. Oh, no. See, Hydrox is still around, aren't they? Or they were up in, well, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. They were still around. They may be gone now, especially with the pandemic having happened after. Well, that's what screwed us from getting to do another season of that show. At least another season. I think Eating History could have became a staple History Channel show had the pandemic not happened. If the pandemic wouldn't have happened and everybody wouldn't have been hyper focused on the news and their crazy, don't even get me started on that. I'm not going to get myself started on that BS that they fed to everybody. But anyway, had that not happened, probably still be doing it right now. Nabisco. Some other products have recently grabbed segments of the market, like Numino's. Numino's organic cookies. Are they made by Nabisco? Numino's? I've never heard of those before. But now, well, okay, so kosher is obviously a market that is specialized, kind of, that a lot of products can't fall into. Whereas Oreos was able to make the changes and spend the money to become kosher. And I do feel like, I don't know, I wonder how much that really helped them. Like I said, they didn't advertise it. They didn't, they didn't make it a big, huge announcement like, hey, now we're kosher or anything. It's kind of weird. So I wonder how many people realized it or how long it took them, if you were Jewish or if you followed the kosher, like how long did it take for them to figure out that Oreos were kosher? Because I know, like I said, they didn't advertise it. Maybe if they were looking and they were going to buy Hydrox anyway, and then they just happened to look over at the Oreos and think, gosh, I wish I could have these Oreos, and they found out that way. I don't know. They are marked on the package. Still to this day, they are marked. And as soon as they started it, it's marked. But I'm pretty sure it's just on the back. It's just a little, kosher symbol or whatever on the bottom. It's just a little tag that's on there. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, you know what? You could have. Yeah, I do. I'll agree with that. We could have been the next hit show on History Channel. I fully believe that. We're the first ever food show on History Channel, food reality show on History Channel, whatever. I feel like we certainly had a future there, but you just said be the next Pawn Stars. I would not do what Pawn Stars have done. I can tell you. I know what kind of person I am, and I know, uh, like, I know when to call it quits. Like, I know when it's over. When, especially when it's something like that. Like, I feel like, let me just put it to you this way: I haven't really watched Pawn Stars in probably like 7 years. Now, if I see, and they just came out with a new show, I tried to watch it. I just, it doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. I think a lot of people are in the same boat as me, and they have like this weird feeling about it after everything that you've seen happen with the people that are on there, and how I'm not going to talk a bunch about it or a bunch. It's just, I think, honestly, when the old man hung it up, I feel like maybe they should have hung it up too, which I think he did pass away. I could be wrong. I hope he hasn't. But someone told me this like 5 years ago. Like, oh yeah, the old man passed away. No, he didn't. And at that point, he hadn't. But now I think he may have. But I could be wrong. So I don't want to say. That he has and he hasn't. Okay. Yep. He passed the day after my birthday in 2018. So he's been gone, what, 4 years? 4.5. Let's see, 2018 to 19 to 20 to 21 to 22. He's been gone 4.5 years. Yeah, whenever I was talking to somebody, it was probably like 5 years ago, a little over, maybe 6 years ago. And I was like, no, 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 he hadn't passed away. Uh, and looked it up, and he hadn't at that point. But he did hang it up there, what, a couple years before. He probably hung it up in like 16 or 15, something like that. It was probably right around there. And I feel like that's probably when they should have, because that's also like when Chumlee was, I think it was like 2016 or 15, whenever he got busted um, doing what he was doing. I don't even want to say it. It was bad. Oh, the Pawn Stars place changed. I see. I've heard that from a lot of people. I know more now than I ever would have known because Matt Braley. You can go back and look at the first like 5 or 6 seasons of Pawn Stars and look who the showrunner was. Matt is the one. He was the showrunner. He was really the one that came up with Pawn Stars, the way it's laid out, the way they done the show, and he's the one that was the showrunner for my show. I love Matt and Emily, his wife, which worked on my show, but they've been married a year, and they got married on what, the 3rd of July, I believe. That's me, like that's me and Adam Richmond and Matt and Emily, like, and all his family and her family. He got married in Wisconsin. Um, let's see, it was a year and like 4 months ago. It was July 3rd. So a year, not a half. Yeah, a year and a half now. Year and a half. So year and a half ago. And anyway, you go back and look at like the beginning of Pawn Stars and how they started, and it that I feel like there was some good changes that were made, but I do feel like those earlier seasons up until, I don't know, I'd say probably to like the 7th or 8th season in there, that there was something more genuine about it. Like it was a whole lot more genuine, even though it's all set up. Like that whole show is more or less a setup. There was a lot more genuine things that would happen that weren't like forced. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's forced. Now, after you're doing a show for that long, of course you're going to get better at being on camera. If you don't, then you probably shouldn't be doing what you're doing. With Corey, I feel like Corey in those earlier years, Like, he was genuine. He was a shy kid, I get it, but I don't know, man. Like, he just seems fake to me. Chumley is authentic in his own way. Um, I haven't seen I haven't seen it in a while. Like I said, I've turned it on. I haven't really watched it in a while. Then I just saw the other day. There's like this. It's like surprise restoration or something restoration surprise or something like that. I wonder what that's about. I would like to see Rick from Rick's Restoration. I don't know what Rick's last name is, but the guy Rick, I know his shop is called Rick's Restorations or Rick's Restoration. Chumley lost a lot of weight. I wonder why. Spicy, do you know what he got in trouble for? If you don't, you can Google it and you'll see why Chumley lost a lot of weight. Corey lost a good bit of weight too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with bettering yourself, changing your appearance. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like if you do it the right way, like if you put the effort in or whatever, and you don't even have to do that. Honestly, I don't care how you do it. It's doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me. So do what you want. To get a poll going to name my kitty, there's a name. I still say Marnie. Marnie. As a play on the names Marilyn and Renee and your moderators, they do an awesome job. Marnie. I don't know if that would work for me, honestly. Cat name. Cat names for me have always been like usually like something playful. I didn't name Goose. My son named her Goose. I don't know why he named her Goose, but I couldn't stick with Goose. I started calling her Lucy for Loosey Goosey. So, or Loose Goose. I call her that sometimes. So, usually when I name a cat, it's something playful or something easy. That's little one is just simple for me. I've got Cece. The reason she's called Cece is because she's crippled cat Cece. So I called her crippled cat forever, and I was like, it just felt wrong. I was like, I want to call you Cece. Cece's a good name for you, and now she answers to Cece. Bruiser got his name because he fought so much to protect Cece. She showed up with the broken leg, which not really showed up. They were around for about a year and a half, 2 years before I could even touch either one of them. Like they were the wildest cats probably that I've ever seen. Now there's another black and white one that runs around here. He eats here daily, probably a couple times a day. But as soon as I crack the door or he sees me through the door, he's gone. Like, he's gone. And I know he doesn't have a house. I know he doesn't live somewhere. There was another orange cat running around. It has disappeared. I hope nothing happened to it. It was a long-haired orange cat. Garfield was really... he was wild for probably about 6 months. And then he's the one that I caught right before I went to do the show. Like, start filming the show the night before I started filming the show the first time. That was after I had went and to New York and auditioned and all that crap. Like, it was like literally getting ready to leave the next day, which I almost didn't sign the contract to film the show. Like, that's a whole story into itself. I actually filmed the show for 3 or 4 days without a contract, without any type of contract whatsoever, because, well, multiple reasons. I don't know if it's stuff that I'm really that comfortable talking about, but it was a whole process. It was a whole thing.
with getting the contract done and getting it to the point to where I was comfortable signing it, especially in the position that I was in with everything else I had going on in my life. It had to line up with that, or I wasn't going to do it. And I almost didn't do it because it came down to that last day, which I think was on the 5th day. And they were like, "You got to sign." I was like, "Look, I'm not going to sign it unless you guys make the changes that my lawyer told you that you got to make." Because they had made it, like, he had a list of demands. He'd send it back to him, and then they'd send us a whole nother contract, like this thick, overnight mail it. It was a whole stupid thing. He'd go through it, and they made one of the changes out of the list. And he's like, "Well, no. Like, I don't know what you guys think you're doing, but we didn't put these things on there because we need most of this, or all of this. It's not a want, it's a need. So you either change it, or we're not doing it." So that's the way it was. Anyway, and my lawyer's super freaking cool. He actually didn't charge me at all to do that. I didn't really think about that till just now. He just kind of did it. I'm actually really good friends with my lawyer. I like the heck out of him. Great guy. I would recommend him to anybody who needed a lawyer that is in his field of law. And if you live in the New York area, then I highly recommend him. And if he can't handle what you got to handle, then I'm sure he knows someone who can handle it, who would be really good. Like, he's just, I, I wouldn't say this about like 97% of lawyers, but he's actually a good person, like a good dude. And like I said, me and him became really good friends over the years. So I've had him as my lawyer for over 5 years. That we've had a pretty close relationship. So, do you get payment from streaming? Yes, yes. So if I get donations, I get the donations that I get, and then whatever revenue from views, which is not much. Yeah, but it all adds up. Every view adds up. It all adds up. So yes, I do make money from streaming. To say I make money from this channel, I would have to say would be laughable, because I certainly spend as much or more. I'm sure more than I have ever made on, as far as YouTube goes. If you went back to the very beginning when I started doing this and added up every single red cent that I've made since I've done this, just to keep, which, don't get me wrong, I've got a bunch of stuff that I that's like just sitting there still, that hasn't been done yet. But there's also, I've done a lot of stuff too. I've opened a lot of stuff tonight. Doesn't count. This was given to me. A lot of things have been kindly donated by folks that I've done on live streams and stuff. So there's that too. Which I enjoy, getting things from you guys and getting it, like, it's just, it makes it more of an interactive experience for everybody, really. So, and to know that you can do something like that with someone, and they'll actually pay attention to it and do it, because I know some YouTubers that I have dealt with personally, where, like, I've talked to them like, "Okay, well, I'll put this together for you and I'll send it to you," and I do it, and then that's it. Like, you don't see it, you'll never see it. That's happened actually more often than not, to be quite honest. Here's the deal with me, is if you send me something, if you happen to be kind enough and generous enough to take out your time, your money, your effort to do that, at least you will definitely see me open it here on the live stream, unless you tell me not to. If you ask me, like, "I'd rather you not open that on, on film or whatever," then I won't. I'm really easy to get along with when it comes to, like, stuff like that, but I'm also humble, and I do appreciate everything on that side of this whole experience of what YouTube has become for me. It's obviously became more of a interactive community type thing than I ever dreamed it would be. I'll tell you what, I can think back to when I first started this. I never thought it would be anything. I honestly, I was like, I like doing this, posting the videos. Like, yeah, I'm just learning how to do it. I didn't know how to do anything. Like, I had my buddy helping me film, which I was extremely crippled at the time. Like, I could just barely, I'd come in here on a walker. I could barely sit here and get through a meal. Like, it was really hard for me to just do that. But I wanted to do it. So I did it. Posted those videos starting out. And it has grew into something that I'm proud of, that I enjoy, that I can look back on and say that it's been something. Um, Chum, oh yeah, and that little mini mall thing. Tim says Rick has a restaurant. Also, Chumley has a candy store. I saw. I think he might have something to do with like tennis shoes and video games or something over there too. I think he's got like a tennis shoe store, like like the place in New York's the first ones that done it. But they buy like used old shoes that have been restored or they just weren't really worn, and they sell like new old stock and like barely used like tennis shoes, old vintage expensive tennis shoes. I think Chumley does something like that, and maybe like vintage video games or something. And then he's got that candy store. uh, I've been thinking really really hard lately about like should I get into some sort of restaurant um, game. I just I don't know if it would be right. I'll tell you what has just came up recently that and this is an idea that I just had the other day. My son's been in the food industry now for probably about I'd say a solid 5 years. He manages the Mexican restaurant down here like part time. He managed a Taco Bell for a little while, and that he didn't like that, so he come back to the Mexican restaurant. And he also serves and deals with the day to day. So I've thought about putting him in a food truck and letting him do whatever kind of food he wants, attaching my name to it, and maybe helping him with maybe some like vintage dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like uh, just stuff that you would be able to look up a vintage recipe for that was popular in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, or something like that. Do a menu of the 20s, 30s, 40s, something like that. Just get him started in a food truck, something simple, and keep the menu simple to start with. But there's this place that just came up down the road from me here, and the only real sit down restaurant that we had here in where I live burned down a few years ago. It was called the Wild Horse. It's like partially still there. Like you can't eat there, but the building, like the drive under porch is still there, and like the freezers are still there, but the building burnt. And then like there's a balcony out back where you used to be able to eat and overlook the river. That stuff's still there across the river, but the guy was asking like $800,000 for that place, for the parking lot and like what's left of this burnt out building, which it doesn't make any sense why he's asking that out of a piece of property with a burnt up building on it. I think the industrial refrigerators that are there might still be good, but they've been sitting basically. They are somewhat under roof, but they're also exposed to some weather. I don't know that they are okay. I don't know. Plus, they went through a fire. I'm sure the exhaust fans sucked smoke, I would assume. So I'm not really sure when it comes to that. Restaurant, I agree. That's why I was thinking food truck, because worst case scenario, you cut your losses, you sell the food truck, you're not out a whole crap ton of money. You know what I mean? But if you can set up the right food truck and it does really, really well, you can invest the money out of that you make off the food truck into a business, get a loan based on the business that you've been doing, and go from there. But you know, the reason I was this property came up for sale. Hang on, Minnie's wanting in. I'll be right back. Come on. I heard you. Come on. She's not in here. Come on. Anyways, so the reason I was thinking that is because this property down the road from me just came up. It is on the main road. It's right next to Tudor's Biscuit World. It's across the street from a couple like little doctor's office setups and stuff. And then there's like a tire shop right down the road. There's not any like real fast food on this side of the river. I mean, there's a Geno's. I think that's it. Everything's across the river. Everything. Anyways, I was thinking it's got an old historic house sitting on it, supposedly. But I think the house just needs to be tore down. I was thinking, get the fire department, buy that place, get the fire, because I think, I'm not going to tell you, I can get it really, really, really cheap. Buy that place, have the fire department come in, burn it down, just burn it down, and then clean up whatever little bits left over after they burn it. And then pave the whole thing. And there's already 2 other, one of them's a barbecue food truck. The other one, I don't know what it is. But there's 2 of them running around in this area that are setting up down there every day. Get my son into this, and then have all 3 of them, like, they pay me rent or whatever, and it'll be a spot. But I'll also require them to be there and be open, like, most of the day. Like, they need to be there and open by noon, like, well, let's call it 11 o'clock. And they need to hang out there until, like, 8 o'clock or later, preferably later, till, like, 9. So, if you did 11 to 9, that would be a 10-hour stretch, because a lot of people don't eat until later in the evening. They don't get off work till 6 o'clock. They're not getting home till 7. Then they got to get food. You know what I mean? Like, you can't close. Tudor's Biscuit World, right next to this place I'm talking about down here, they close at 2 p.m. They close at 2 p.m. What is the, or 4 p.m., 2 or 4 p.m.? What's the point? What is the point of why even open? It doesn't make any sense. I guess they're making it by and maybe breaking even, paying their bills, maybe keeping their employees not happy, I'm sure. But getting by, being open, like, I think they close at 2. And I think they open at like 9, 8 or 9. So 6 hours they're open. But I don't know. I think if you opened at like 11, caught the lunch, stayed open until like at least 9, I think that would be a good stretch to be able to do well. Have the 3 different, and you're going to want different options. So whatever those guys are doing, my son needs to do something different. But anyways, I've thought about that. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to something like that or not. But I do know that the banks around here are like itching to do something like that, because they've literally told me that. So it's just like across the river. I was talking to the city planner over there. She is also on the board of this bank. And I was talking to her about a restaurant idea that I had, and she's like, if you want to do it, she's like, come to the bank. I'll make sure you get what I was like, yeah, well, see, I don't know. I mean, I know the risk is high if you go leveraging your own assets and your own money. But if you get a loan as a company, so it's not you, as a company, the risk is nowhere near as high as you getting screwed and losing everything. They're not going to be as apt to loan you as much money, I'm sure, or maybe not at all. I don't know. I don't know this world. I don't know. I've never done anything like that. I've only had one loan in my life. I was 18 years old. I was an idiot. I went and bought a vehicle from a car dealer down the road here. I got a loan for it, and then I refinanced it about probably within the first year, and I was an idiot. Like, I was stupid. Oh, I don't take my payment down. Oh, yeah? Well, the $6,000 that I owed, like, payment, like, that's interest and all would have been $6,000 that I would have owed. I refinance and I owe $7,500 or whatever it was. Like, I was just stupid. It took my payment down because it added 2 years to my time. It's just dumb. It's just stupid. Leases may require a personal guarantee depending on what's typical in your market. Yeah, well, probably I can see that, but I also I can tell you just by the way that lady was talking to me, like they are just dying for somebody to come in and give it a try. Like they really want somebody to come in because as of right now, like I said, there's nothing. There's nothing here. There's absolutely no sit down restaurant. I can name off all the fast food places that are all over there. They're all across the river. The only place food wise over here, well, there's like a cupcake shop in Mason down there, and then there's Geno's. That's it. Tudor's. Tudor. I don't even count Tudor's because they're not open. They're never open. If I want to eat at Tudor's, it's not going to be open. It's just not going to be open. I think they're even closed some days, like certain days, they're not even open. It's weird. I think they're getting ready to close completely, be my bet. And then that building will be for sale and all the equipment. Bank won't require it. I mean, the property landlord. Property. I would be the property landlord. I would own the property. As far as what I'm talking about doing down here, like it. If I told you how much it cost, you'd be like, "Why haven't you already bought it?" You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculously cheap. It's not going to last, and if somebody else gets it, they're probably not going to do anything with it. It'd be my bet. It'll probably just sit there and rot. Be my bet. So yeah, that'd be on me. And then if the food truck thing went well enough, like I said, the other two food truck guys, I'd have to talk them into doing it. But I think it would be a great thing to have a set down place. Just put a bunch of picnic tables under it, or maybe even put a little building right there in the middle of them or something. Probably not a building. Just you'd have to eat outside or in your car. Set it up where you can eat in your car. But have 3 different types of food in one spot that you could pick from. I mean, we don't have anything as of right now. But like I was saying, there's no sit-down restaurant right now around here, and that's why they're just dying for someone to do it over there. And I don't know if I'm that guy, man. I don't know, because I know from what everyone's told me, from what I've seen, if you're going to go into this industry, you better be willing to forfeit a big chunk of your life to working like 16-hour days, not getting any money. Oh, hang on, I'll be right back. Forgot about something. Forgot to turn the stove burner off. But yeah, I don't think I'm willing to give it that much of my time and effort. So I don't know. I know my son wants to do something like that, but he's young, man. I don't know if he's got it in him. So just the fact that I question it like that means I don't know. But all right, guys, I'm going to get cleaned up. It's been a long time now. So I want to say a huge thanks to my patrons. Thanks to each and every one of you folks. LC, I'll be looking for your box. Daniel, I'll be looking for the MCW whenever you want to send that. If you do, no big deal either way. But I want to say thank you to each and every person that was kind enough to send in a super chat tonight. I really appreciate you guys. And go check out the channels I suggested. And yeah, I guess all I got left to do now is say thank you guys for watching. And I'll see y'all on the next live stream.
Later, folks.